Start with opening remarks, please, following today's match here against San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, positives were the second half. The response, getting a little more pressure higher up the field definitely helped us. I thought in the first half we weren't able to get to their fullbacks quick enough and aggressively enough, which allowed them a little more momentum. But if you still look at the second goal, that's just us doing that versus them necessarily creating that. So, yeah, disappointed for sure, but we also played a very, very good team. And so second half, I thought I could say we were definitely the better team and just a few minutes short from trying to create an equalizer.
Thank you for that. We'll take questions here. Start with Manny here.
I just wanted to comment just about the goal scorers today. I know Yasmin was their first goal for the dash, and Barbara gained almost a confidence goal overall for her performance. How important I know goals change games, but how also boosts morale and confidence. How important were those goals for those players specifically?
Yeah, look, this is Barb's now second goal, so she's kind of coming into form, so very, very pleased for her. And then Yaz, obviously, I think she now has kind of the monkey off her back, and now she can kind of go full swing. I know she's been a little bit out with some injuries here and there, so now obviously using her at the 9, I think she's been a bright spot for us, so I think we should keep the momentum going. But yeah, to your point, creating and scoring goals is a difficult thing, so to get to tonight is a positive.
And I just want to jump back on your mention on Barb's form. I know today she had an outstanding game, maybe do a little bit of the dirty work and also providing for the attack as well. I just want to see your comment about how her game is evolving in the dash side. I know she's been in and out, starting bench, and now she's coming to form. How well she has progressed over the season under you?
Yeah, look, I think her positioning has been much improved. I think she's a player that always wants to gravitate towards the ball, which is a good thing, but she's definitely has improved her positional discipline, which allows her to be creative in between the lines and all those things. So, yeah, I think very, very pleased with her, and obviously she's extremely fit and able to cover ground for long distance. You know, in this league, it's you need those types of players. But yeah, she's getting into a form, and we're really excited for her and the future with us.
And my last question, I think, is maintaining the mindset. I think despite two underwhelming results, the one here and the one in Orlando, and coming to their last game coming next week, how to, I think, reset the mindset and keeping forward, because you had a great second half, and keeping that mindset for the next game.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult things, and that's something, I think we've been preaching all year long. We've had good performances, but sometimes just moments, right? Even start of the second half, like conceding the goal that we conceded, or even the second goal in this game. So there's a lot of growth that we need to continually have. But yeah, that's been even our message today is, there's a lot of things outside of our control, but all we can do is come in with the mindset, wanting to improve and having that resilience. So, yeah.
We'll go to Alex here in the back.
Coach, good evening.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. Good evening, and forgive me if you've already answered some of these questions. First of all, giving up a lot of corner kicks, right? I'm sure that's something you were working on throughout and maybe adjusting to that, but the more set plays like that you give away, it's danger for the team defensively, right?
Yeah, it is, and obviously there were some where one corner led to 2 to 3 to 4, so it's like one corner led to 3 more, right? So I think obviously we'll have to look back on that, and we made some tweaks at halftime to make sure that that we minimize those opportunities.
They were taking short corners almost from the beginning, right? Is that just something you weren't used to, or is that a different look?
No, we knew it. Just some positioning of players were a little bit off, and as you know, sometimes a couple yards can be the difference of that. So.
Abby Smith tonight, to me, I think even though it's not a clean sheet, I think she did great. Some saves, movements, commitment, her positioning. Maybe a lot of people may not see that with the 3 goals, but your words about her.
Yeah, look, I think that first save in the first half, where she flicks it off the post, and it goes off the post, I think it's a world-class save. So, yeah, look, I think Abby has been consistent. She's been great for us, and I'm just a little bit disappointed that we conceded the goals that we did, because to your point, it wasn't a reflection of her performance, in my opinion.
Lastly, what do you do between now and the 4th of August in keeping things going or improving things or reassessing? And thank you, Coach.
I think there's a lot. There's a lot. Obviously, we got one more game before the break, so we need to make sure we finish on a good note. And then obviously we'll have our week off. We'll reset, and there's a lot. There's a lot of assessment. I think our process is really, really good, but it can always probably be better, right? So we'll have to look back at that, regroup with leadership group within the team, and see how we can, move forward and have a strong push in the second half. Thank you.
Diego.
Hey, Fabrice. Talk to me a little bit about what goes on through your head when you talk to the players after a strong performance in Orlando defensively and then conceding 3 and helping them kind of like maintain positivity and keeping them going as they still have one more before the break.
Yeah, I think for us it's always looking at where we are and what progress are we making, and so I think just being very objective in that, not just like fluff, hey, you're doing great, but actually like looking at the progress. So I think that's in every game, whether you lose or you win, there's always something to take from it, right? Or there's several things to take from it. So I think for us is really identifying what the problems were and what the solutions are. And I think if every game you can do that, you continually instilling hope and belief in what we're doing.
And this is the second or third game where you've played Maggie in more of a fullback position instead of somewhere in the midfield. Can you talk to me a little bit about where you see her strengths really being in that position, as I saw her really displaying a lot of physicality and a lot of movement in the wing?
Yeah, some of it is that. Some of it is Avery being out as well. So obviously not having Avery hurts us. And so Maggie is someone that could play a lot of different roles and positions. So we felt, hey, she's in our best 11. So right now we're going to put her at wingback. But I think she could do a lot of different things. And as you saw, she's fairly dynamic. So that spot kind of is a pretty good spot for her.
And then my final question is, you guys are arriving the halfway point of the season. Can you talk a little bit and reflect about how you felt the season has gone, and considering this is your first year with the Dash?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gone okay. I think if you look at some of the performances, maybe not necessarily today, but there's been performances where we haven't gotten results, and I think those are games that looking back can really cost you. And so I think for us, I think it's gone okay. So I think there's a lot to improve on. Obviously, we need to stay positive in where we're going, and it takes time. But yeah, so I think there's a lot of reassessment in what we're going to do this summer.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll wrap up with that one. Thank you,
All right,
Fabrice.
thank you.